All right, so for the first speaker, I'm going to introduce Ahjamu Umi, an organizer for the All-African People's Revolutionary Party here in Portland, Oregon. He's been involved in multiple social justice campaigns, and it's my pleasure to present Ahjamu Umi.
Alu, Wohosi 10. Y'all free me Ahjamu. Just a little West African Fonte greeting for you because Portland needs culture like that.
Yeah.
We were asked to come and talk to you tonight about the $15 minimum wage, but of course, if you know anything about us, we have to do it differently. So that's what we intend to do. And the question we have about the $15 minimum wage that we want you to think about this evening is, what is the end game with it? Is it just simply $15 and then we've won something? And I think all of you, if you're rational, intelligent people, you know that can't be it, right? Because $15 is not nearly enough for people to support a family on. So we know that's not it. So what is the point of $15 an hour? What is the objective with talking about that? Well, it depends on, I guess, how you came in the room. If you're a reformist activist, then you probably see $15 an hour as a tactic to get people to support your agenda, whatever it is. Hopefully it's a principled one. If you're one of the many people in Portland who flows from event to event with not a real focus, then you probably see it as a way to come to a celebrity event and feed off the energy that this kind of thing generates.
There you go.
If you're an undercover police officer in here, then you probably see it as an opportunity to see who's engaged in the radical movement in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But if you're a revolutionary, and I'm going to define what a revolutionary is for me and for us, a revolutionary is someone who is 100% opposed to the capitalist system and wants to see it destroyed.
Woo! Yeah.
Everybody that says they're socialist isn't saying the same thing.
Amen.
So we have to be clear about what that means. So if you're a revolutionary, what $15 an hour in any issue has to be, it has to be about giving people a quality living so we can take care of our families, but also has to include a couple of other components. The first one of those components is we have to look at this in the context of how we evaluate labor in the society. Like the way we're trained in these bourgeois institutions is that if you go to school and you get a law degree, you go to medical school, you go to graduate school, you know more, so consequently you should make more. Isn't that how we're trained? Yeah. That's how we're trained. And I'm not bagging on you because I'm a slave with a master's degree, so I'm not bagging on you if you have one. But I'm saying that's our training in this bourgeois system. And this question of the $15 wage gives us an opportunity to challenge that corrupt analysis by saying we should evaluate labor based on the priority and value that the people who carry it out bring to our lives. So most of you, I know many of you probably need to be on a therapist's couch a whole lot of your life. But most of us, maybe once or twice in your life, you may do that, right? Most of you, maybe once or twice, you might hire a lawyer, but that's it. And most of you probably don't even go to a doctor even if you need to. So you don't even deal with these people much in your life. But every day you go to the supermarket and you get groceries that were stocked for you. Every day somebody's putting gasoline in your car. Every day you're eating out and people are serving you and cleaning up after you. So who has more value in your life? Those low-wage workers. So this $15 an hour question gives us the opportunity to pay homage to those people who make this society run and to respect them for their contributions.
Woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
It allows us to link our struggle, the working class struggle in the United Snakes of America to the world working class community. Because something I gotta tell you all. The working class community in the world today is not that rugged white contractor man. That's not what it is today. From the World War II, that's not what it is. The working class face today is women, poor women. It's African African people. It's indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere. It's Asian people. That's who it is. And the most dynamic things happening in the working class movement are happening in those communities. That's no accident. I told you, I'm a Pan-Africanist. And I've lived in Africa, and I've done labor organizing over there, and I've seen with my own eyes where you don't get arrested when you organize against the boss in Guinea, West Africa. You get shot at. So the class contradictions are intense there. So this allows us to link up with that struggle, which we should do, because the U.S. is not the center of anything.
Yeah.
You need to get that out of your mind.
Yeah.
Woo. So the last thing that I want to say, and I'm a revolutionary, so I can't be hypocritical. I don't believe in electoral politics, y'all. I don't believe in integrating in the capitalist system, but we have got to learn to work together even if we don't agree. We've got to learn how to do that. So that's the reason why I'm here. I'm an organizer for the All-African People's Revolutionary Party, and we're recruiting dozens of African youth here into the African Revolution. In this town, in your town, it is happening. We can't even orientate them fast enough. So that's my work. But the important point is that we've got to build a movement. None of this that we're talking about is going to succeed if we don't have a mass movement. And that's what we've got to learn to work together. And I've been organizing in this organization this next month, 30 years. So one thing I have learned is that you have got to be where people are. People don't come from, they don't start from just being in bourgeois society and become revolutionaries the next day. That's a process people have to engage in. So you take people where they are. So my final message here this evening is we have got to get every woman, every man, every child, every dog, cat in an organization working for justice. We don't have to worry right now about what that or in Portland people are a trip, oh, you're this, you're that. I come from the gang culture. So I know gang culture when I see it, even in Portland, even in the activist community, even the so-called revolutionary community in Portland. I know gang culture when I see it. We have got to get around that, y'all, and understand you've got to work with people where they are. Woo. And you've got to understand how to speak their language. So we've got to get people in organizations. It doesn't matter right now what organization it is. But if you get them involved and they can see the day-to-day work, then they can come to understand what you're talking about. They can come to understand the concepts you're talking about. It's a tactic to raise people's consciousness. So the last thing I want to say is we got to get everybody involved in an organization working for justice. And I know a lot of you in here ain't in no organization. Yep. You just flow from event to event. Yep. What's going on tonight? Okay, that's what I'm doing. We'll never be successful like this. You can't fight. The Koch brothers have billions of dollars. Yep. They're the second largest employer in the United States after Walmart. Yep. You can't defeat them. The only way we can defeat them is by organization. Amen. That's the only way we can do it. Woo! So we've got to get everybody involved in some organization other than watching the Super Bowl and having Super Bowl parties or American Idol. We've got to get people involved in this process. Woo! And the way we do it is we stop talking about what we shouldn't be doing that, and you encourage people to do what they're ready to do, and then if you're a smart and skilled organizer, you bring them along to the path that you want them to go to. Bingo. And they make that decision on their own. Bingo. But if you don't really organize, you don't understand what I just said. That's the problem right now in this movement. We've got to build a mass movement. So I'm telling you, join some organization. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't know a whole lot about socialist alternative, but I'm saying if you ain't in the organization, you shouldn't leave here unless you join now. Yeah. Join some. Woo! Right on. Organizations are here. You should join one. There you go. If you don't join those organizations, you should join. I just came here to see Shama speak, and I wish this African would shut up organization. And get that going tonight. And organize whoever you're talking to do something to combat this vicious, backward, decadent system that we live in. Because that's the only way we will do it. We won't do it any other way. If you can do it as an individual, we got to stop talking in Portland like I'm going to go get a farm, and I'm going to go out and farm and grow the food off the land. Look, I grew up in inner city projects, y'all. You talk like that to me, I'm like, that's a bourgeois fantasy. We'll never. And when African people die, we don't get inheritance, we get debt. So I don't even understand what you're talking about when you talk to me like that. So you got to understand, and I'm just talking to you about it. I know y'all are not used to hearing Africans, so I know it's hard, but get used to it, because you're going to start hearing us more and more in this town. So get ready for it. If we have to talk to you, we're going to talk. So join an organization message this evening. Forward ever, backwards never. Mida Osi, always ready to contribute to revolution.